Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Andrew. I'm a medium and a divine channel. Today we're going to be getting into a collective reading for any and all, so it's not sign specific, whomever may find themselves on the other side of that screen. Welcome. I'm going to use different divination tools, starting with the cards and the sounds from around us. I have a freeway right outside. I have a dog. I have dogs downstairs. Usually when sound starts to pick up around me, it's validation or pointing us to something. So I'm going to go with that. What else is there? I'm going to be using my ghost box as well at the end. So you may want to have your notebook handy or something you can take notes on, because I let it play. Whatever I hear, I relay back to you at the end. But if you hear things, they're probably for you, especially if I don't mention them. So make sure you write it down. And if you don't mind, if someone can be so sweet as to write it in the comments, I would really appreciate it. I want some music right now.
If you want to be on camera, you want to be behind the camera, you want to do radio, podcast, whatever.
Almighty God, Holy Spirit, assist me as I deliver messages for the collective today. Allow me to receive the downloads, messages, whatever is most important to hear and receive for those that are listening, watching, or receiving. Thank you. Archangel Michael, please engulf us in your divine flame of protection. Thank you. Thank you. We are open to receive the collective messages that are going to best serve us at this time. And with that, I say amen, amen, amen. Thank you. I'm sorry, this is wobbly. I apologize. Oh, I know why. There we go. That should be better. Maybe not. I had a dream last night. A dream where a very important man that's been coming into many of my dreams came to me and stated, or asked me, how do you describe a castle? And in my mind I was thinking, oh, and then he disappeared. And in my mind I was thinking, oh, you describe it from like the bottom up. You lay, you know, the bottom bricks or the bottom stones that, you know, lay the foundation. They were the first, they were the oldest, and then you build it up. And it was kind of giving me this energy of like a castle that is built over an entire cycle of an ancestral line. So like the earliest ancestors, they built the ability to thrive on their own, to connect with the earth, spirit. Like they grounded that spirit connection, that integration with the environment around them. And then after, it came all of us. And in the middle, it was all messy. And recently, like, it's just like what... it's almost like we make it feel like we are the ones who are building the ancestral wealth or the generational wealth. When in reality, it's begun from the beginning. And we're just kind of... we're given a different kind of role to bring it, I guess, across the finish line. Describe a castle. The first card that came out is the Death card in the reverse. This is feeling like resurrection. This is feeling like necromancy. This is feeling like bringing up old shit. Not shit, forgive me, but old gifts, knowledge, wisdom. It's almost like the oldest ancestors or the older ancestors are now giving or are given fire to help their children or their great thousand greats grandchildren. And with the High Priestess in the reverse, I don't think that the collective is aware of this. I don't think that we've seen it or felt it yet. This feels like something that is yet to come to our awareness. I changed my mind on the music. Whoa, ho, okay. Collective, we have someone here, or I don't know if this is someone or a group of someones, but someone here's ancestors. They're saying like you're here to be the harbinger of some kind of communication or message to bring the truth. I think yesterday we had a reading where it was like putting the pieces together, the final puzzle piece to make the picture, right? This very much feels like someone here, and this is the woman isn't you. You are the child, right? You are the child. So, and for some of you, you might be pregnant, but it feels like you're the child here that is harboring a secret message, like, and your message is intense. We have Kali here. I want to read that in the book. We read through the book as this is one of my newer decks, just so that we can become accustomed to like how this deck differentiates from other decks. The Knight of Blades. Impulsive, swift, forceful, intelligent, restless, destructive. A fierce knight embodying the visage of Shakti makes her charge, riding in on the Azure Dragon of the East. She is so set on the course of her action, and she decimates everything in her wake. You see, like, there's something about, like, the Midas touch versus, like, everything you touch turning to dust. And there's something about believing that, like, man, like, everything I've touched in this life feels like it just, like, it falls away or it runs away from me or it falls through my fingers. They do this once a day. Like a synchronized release. Feeling like what we have worked towards, the things that we've put forward, they have run away from us. The truth is, we actually have the Midas touch. The only difference is the things that are actually worth transforming to gold are things that are true, things that are honest. And so the relationships that we were trying to push, the life paths or the careers, the businesses that we were trying to involve ourselves in, the minute that we got into those spaces, got around those people, the truth goes at, the truth comes through you everywhere you go. Whoever's watching this, the truth goes with you. You touch things and all of a sudden the truth comes to the surface. You enter a room and all of a sudden you are the vehicle and you don't even realize you're doing it. You start asking questions that make people think, what does this person know? When you don't even know anything. You got people paranoid about things that you don't even know about. And this is something that is not in your awareness with the High Priestess in the reverse, and the Knight of Blades in the reverse. Let me keep reading. The Knight of Blades fixates on her ideal. She has subverted her empathy for the sake of the pursuit of her objective, and woe upon those who stand in her way. Ooh, that's intense. You see, it feels like this when it comes to, the difference now is that it feels like you do and you do have a lot of empathy. And Spirit is trying to pull you out of that, because you have to, like, it's almost like where we get fucked in the head because we overthink or are concerned about our impact. They're telling me, whoever's watching this, you guys have had a development within your character that causes you to be hyper aware of where you are hurting others. But there's a difference here, because the truth is at the expense of no one. So wherever it is that you've been convinced that telling the truth, telling your truth, or being truthful, being honest, and not folding on that, how that is somehow hurting someone and putting you in the wrong, that's weird. That's weird. Somebody here wants a secret to be kept, and they are going to do it at all costs. Somebody here is literally like up at night, freaking out, having panic attacks because they're afraid that you're going to let the cat out the bag. Cats don't belong in bags, honey bunny. That's what should be collective's response. We have two knights in the reverse and the Knight of Diamonds. Something about this weight, it's like the weight of your truth, the weight of who you are. You're here to, it's almost like you know, you're a pickup truck, but you thought you've been a taxi. And everywhere you go, other cars and people make you feel bad because you take up too much space everywhere you go. Because you are not easy to park. Because you take up a lot of space on the road, and because you're so powerful, you feel like out of place. And in that struggle, you've prevented yourself from, or not prevented yourself, you haven't really seen the potential and possibility to build something. You're not seeing something here. Building a castle, right? Explain to me or describe to me a castle. It's like in the descriptive or description of it, you realize that that's what you are. That's what you live in. That's what you built. That's what you're building. That's what you are adding to. That's what you came here to do. And it's like you're not aware of something that you've been building. You're not aware of the progress here. Whoever this is, you're not aware of the progress. With the Two of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like you feel like you can't have both. You feel like you can't do both. And Spirit is saying you absolutely can. It's just you have to learn and understand the wisdom that comes with learning who you are. And I'm not talking about like what's your favorite color, whatever. I'm talking about like how you show up in the world authentically and organically, and how other people react to that. What is the karmic significance of your presence here on this planet? Because it feels like someone here is just starting to wake up to that. That's interesting. We have a lot of swords coming out here. I feel like this is a complete like Houdini. Somebody's pulling a Houdini here. This is someone who a lot of people did not expect would ever make it out. This is someone who everybody assumes is like dead in the water somewhere. Like they've ruined all their potential. They also believe that you haven't been building something. They don't understand the gravity of what has been built, because when it comes to glamour, when it comes to social media, when it comes to what people see on the surface, they think that you have just been off somewhere fucking around. They judge the things that you've been doing as being a failure. They don't realize that you've been building a fucking castle. They don't realize that this is a castle that's been built for generations. I'm hearing like, we don't need to move the mountain. We just need to build a castle beside it. Oof. Oof. They said this is enough cards. I'm gonna pull some from the Ancestor deck. Any of my decks, you guys, is in the description. If you want to know more, this is a new deck, by the way, the one I was just using. It's called the Global Fusion Tarot. It's by a Jamaican artist. I would definitely recommend using it. Everything's in the description. Let's go. There we go. At the bottom of the deck, the Knight, the only Knight that we have in the upright position, the Knight of Cups. This has been slow and steady. I've explained this in one of the previous readings, but the Knight of Cups is the slowest cup. The slowest Knight, excuse me. When he moves with a tact, and he moves carefully, because everything in his cup is precious. It's not to be drunk. I don't care how thirsty he is, he won't drink it. And he gets himself the most stable horse. So you're wondering why everybody else's horse goes so fast, is like off with the wind. Wondering why your horse is an older horse and can't move, why you got the shitty end of the deal, why you got the short end of the stick. Because your kind of growth and what is needed from you was something that was a delicate process. It needed to be handled extremely delicately, because where there's a lot of power and there's a lot of potential for that power to turn in or collapse in on itself, we needed it to go slow. And so you judged it. You judged yourself. You judged your situations. You believed yourself to be a nobody for a period of time, and that's how it needed to be. Because we did not need your ego to attack the very things that we were building behind your awareness. We did not need your ego to sabotage a castle that has been built for thousands of years and that you are just now inheriting. We needed you not to know about your divine inheritance so that you didn't do anything to sabotage it, because your ego and your lack of safety and all the other wonkiness that you've been so blessed to choose a path of untangling from and transcending, integrating, transmuting. And so yeah, you got the oldest, slowest fucking horse. And now do you understand why? While everybody else got to where they needed to go really fast, they were not prepared for it. Look at all the people in your life, whoever you are on the other side of that screen, all the people in your life who you judge to be ahead of you. They are not happy or prepared in the positions they've been in. They rushed, and therefore they ended up somewhere where they weren't even supposed to be. And then they got stuck. You got to learn through the journey. You got to take your time. You got to move slowly on that horse. You got to develop the muscles in your back. You got to develop your own longevity and your own faith. Blessed are those who struggle. That's kind of the core of this message of what I'm feeling. And describe a castle, because if you describe it, I think it might sound very similar to yourself. You look up the root word of castle. Ooh, the word castle is derived from the Latin word castellum, which is a diminutive of the word castrum, meaning fortified place. Fortified place. Interesting. Can also be defined as a large building that was once occupied by a ruler and fortified against attack. You're returning to your position as the ruler of the castle. It's a castle that's gone abandoned. It's a castle that's gone unrecognized and unmanned. This is like the essence of like the birthright that we have when we come into this life. Our ancestral line, our connection, our DNA, it guides us back and forward, but back to an essence of empowerment. Every life, regardless of what people judge to be a success or not, every life has developed karmic lessons and built on the last and built on the last. And even though we judge very intense, painful, karmic lessons, you're talking to somebody who comes from a family who really decided to go into the depths of darkness ancestrally and ancestral karma. You know, I'm talking about, like, I don't even need to go into details, but just know that we know darkness over here in this side of the family, or in this bloodline over here. We know darkness. Real darkness, like killing children darkness. Like, we know shit. And so we may judge those things, and we may feel like, you know, maybe your parents are alcoholics, or maybe you have drugs in your family or whatever, and you judge that to be something less than what other people have, when in reality it was a different path of experience, and that is something that has value. The person who was a fuck up, a deadbeat dad, you know, a person who was not able to get their life together, they were holding something that ended up, they gave you something. They gave you something. Something that you may not be able to understand yet, which is why the High Priestess is in the reverse. And that's okay. But you will learn. You will understand what the castle means and why everything went the way it went. You will get it. The pieces are coming together. Can you describe a castle? That's going to sit with me for a long time. Secrets. Somebody here in the etheric realm, or even like another bloodline or family that is tied to yours, that has karma with you guys in your life. It feels like they may cause problems for you guys karmically in this life, or they may have, and there's something about you recognizing and understanding, or even this is a family member, but this is like you understanding why someone is the way they are. They don't have awareness about it, but you do. It's almost like you get the answer and you figure something out before they do, and it puts you in a space where you can be free, because all they can do over here is freak out and panic about the fact that, like, they have no control over the narrative anymore. They have no control over you. They don't have the same, you know, it's almost like they know how to press your buttons, but they press your button this one time and then every time after that, and nothing happens. They're used to pressing the button, then you get all broken, and then you fall apart, and then you need some time to pick yourself up again, and then they're like, ha, I got this bitch. I know what to do with this one. I know how to do this one, right? Then they come back to press the button, and all of a sudden it don't work no more. Ain't that something? What else you got for us, Spirit? Again, with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Listen. It's coming up in the reverse again because it's something that I'm not picking up. Can we get a clarification on that? What is this? Ooh. Okay, it's like you assume. Okay, somebody here is like they assume that something here they're doing is not going to pan out. And Spirit is saying not only is that thing going to pan out, but the other thing's going to pan out too. You got two things where before you felt like you had nada. All of a sudden now you have two. Two things over here that are thriving and abundant and moving, and you know, deal with that imposter syndrome and that dissonance now. Deal with it now. Deal with that resistance now. You know, be present with it. You know, really envision how would it feel like if both these things took off. Whoever you are, you know what this is. These are both endeavors. One may be a job, one may be a business. They both may be businesses, right? One of them may be buying a house and one of them may be getting a car. You feel like you can only choose one. The Spirit is saying, well, envision it, okay? Because wherever it is you have resistance, don't, okay? You took the long and steady route, and therefore now you're being introduced. They're showing me like a gate. They're bringing you in, and they're saying, here's the keys to the castle. This is what your responsibilities are. Because trust and believe this is going to come with responsibilities. This is going to come with responsibilities. And that's cool. That's all right. Everything comes with responsibilities. Like, anything worth maintaining is something that needs requires responsibility, requires a level of effort. That's fine, right? But what is this doing for not just me, but what is this doing for everyone that I come across? Okay? It's allowing you to be ruthless in your truth. Ruthless in your communication. You know, this is a period of time with Aquarius where we need warriors of the truth right now. Warriors. Not people that are going to be like, oh, I'm going to be political correct and I want to be conscious of this person's feelings. Fuck the feelings. People are not feeling enough and people need to feel more. And right now, we're doing this weird-ass game where people are letting semantics and the ego run rampant. Right now, Spirit is saying, use your sword and cut the motherfuckers down. Now. This is the time. Why? Why? They're telling me to pose the question, why? Why is it important to be ruthlessly honest? Honest in a way that is completely tethered to truth. There's no water in that. There's no water in that. But now we're about to go quickly. Now we're about to move quick. We went from going slow and learning what it means to temper ourselves, to honor emotions, to be empathic towards other people, to be empathic, period, right? And then it transforms and changes. And now it's a time where we are being abundantly honest in a way that is so uncomfortable to other people, but in a way that ensures and fortifies our castles. Why is it important for us to fortify our castles? Oh, I don't like that. I said I heard because we're at war. Because we're at war. This is like I'm getting the kind of story of I'm getting the story of like being at war and like losing or you're losing or it's going in a way that you're losing, you have nowhere to go, and then all of a sudden you stumble across a castle, you go through it and you find out that the castle belonged to your family to begin with. The enemy didn't want to tell you about that. The enemy didn't want you to know that you have a whole ass castle sitting unmanned because they couldn't get into it. They tried. Trust me when I tell you they tried. They didn't want to destroy it because eventually they wanted to get into it. They couldn't. And so right now, if you're feeling emotionally confused, if you're feeling a little bit callous, ask questions into that, because that feels just about right about this time. We're in Aquarius season, you guys, so this isn't like a surprise to me. Right now, one of the messages recently was that being alive at this time, especially right now, it's so important for us to remain honest and to develop the faculties and the strength, the muscle of being honest in the face of opposition, because honesty is fortifying and protecting your energetic field. It's keeping your auric field strong, right? The minute you start to lie and the minute you start to go against yourself, you start to lose track of who you are and what's true and what's not true. It's like being led down the wrong path. So if someone here in your life, you're struggling to be honest with them, I would recommend that you start working on that, because if you're pacifying someone and not telling someone you have a problem with them because you're afraid of their reaction or because you're afraid that something will be taken away, they're telling me, it's like maybe your stability will be taken away, your livelihood will be taken away, your comforts, even just your relationships. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth the breakdown of my auric field and me being made available to all of these attacks and energies that honestly, like, what's the point? We're going to get into the spirit box now to close out these messages. Take out a pen and paper or something to take notes with, because there's definitely going to be something in here for everyone.
Xbox. Scanning. FM. such a air from you yet?
E. Her. Is there a story? More money. Your client? The 92 points. Once held by a Republican.
Do what I love to do.
Stand up.
I'm proud to go.
To almost
This is the end.
overpriced storing it. Well, think. Well, now I'm starting to see.
So good.
Beat for. Vanilla swirl, vanilla shot.
I heard vanilla swirl before.
Believe me, folks.
Believe me, folks.
The Lord Rock. Natural gas.
From Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Jesus Christ.
Well, you are FM.
Offended.
Recency box.
This is WM.
I keep a blue flake.
She love me. I'm gonna stop. So I fell forever. It's fine. I'm doing that. Oh, the blinds. A little bit. Long walk. Can you put some syphilis?
As Austin well.
Comic.
South Ong Park.
My thoughts and downloads.
Delighted.
I'd be delighted.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday morning.
Commemorate.
Announced new
Commemorate.
steps today.
New steps.
Is anybody I've seen?
Loss. One of your two.
Baby, come on.